who is a teacher. She has an experience with the children, with parents, and I believe she has something that she can share with us. I've been following her online, and one of the things I have seen is her passion towards teenagers, children, and I know she has something for us. She has been guiding parents, mentoring teens and the youth. She's actually called Dr. Rebecca Wambua, and she has been a teacher for a long time. She has over 30 years of experience. She has taught in primary schools, high schools, at the university, and currently she is working at Africa Nazarene University. So I believe if we are going to spare a few minutes, we are going to learn from her because of her experience interacting with children in schools, parents, and I know we will even have a relationship beyond this day. May the Lord bless you. Let's welcome her with a clap. Karibu sana, Daktari.
Praise the Lord. How are you? Okay, thank you, dear children, for such great presentations. We really enjoyed. The board of directors, the board of management, the principal of this institution, parents, teachers, and children, good afternoon. Yes, thank you. Parents, I'm sure you have seen a lot this morning. What the children have demonstrated to us are competencies of the competence-based curriculum. I'm sure all our children are there. It's only the standard 7s who are not there. But even if they are not there, through their performance, we have seen a number of competencies which are very important to them. I'm sure this morning you have seen communication and collaboration, critical thinking and problem solving, imagination and creativity, citizenship, learning to learn, self-efficacy, and digital literacy. Parents, I'm sure the parents of the grade 6 and also the lower classes, digital literacy is one of the core competencies that is required of our children, and therefore smartphones and laptops are important in this journey. Now, these competencies have been inculcated in our children by our teachers. And the children at this level understand that there is need for them to be original. Why should they be original? Because life echoes back everything they say. And whatever they say will be reflected in their lives. Now, Proverbs 23 verse 7 says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." So these children have been guided in order to have good thoughts, because those thoughts affect the words affect actions, and the actions affect their character, and their character affects their destiny. One of the key areas that they have learned in this institution is that they need to embrace the obstacles, because obstacles are a call to strength. As young as they are, they know they face a number of obstacles, and some of them are in relation to their academic work. But one thing they are confident through their teachers' guidance is that obstacles are a call for strength. And how do they overcome these obstacles? They do it through a positive attitude, which always creates positive results. Our children know that a positive attitude always creates positive results. Now, what we have seen this morning is not just a one-day event. It is a culmination of a number of activities. For the event to be so successful, they had to do something. And these children have known that success is merely the natural reward for taking time to do things well. So our children and our teachers have taken time to do things well because they know when they do things well in a progressive manner, then they'll get success. And that's why this morning their presentations were so successful. Our children know that half effort produces no results. You know, I'm sure you saw this morning the way they gave their best. And we are praying for the grade 6 and the standard 8 children that they'll also do their best in their national examination. They know that being passionate is what leads to excellence. And I'm sure you have seen the passion as they did their activities this morning. And they also know that the right opportunity is where they are. Sometimes in life, people think that when you change your location or your organization, that's when you are able to succeed. But our children know that they will succeed in this institution because there is the right management and also the right teachers to guide them. They also know that success comes from daring to take small steps. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And our children know that. And they also know that exceptional people are beaten and knocked down several times. So sometimes our children are beaten down and they are knocked down, or they are beaten by issues in life, because in life there are many issues. But through their teachers' guidance, they know that exceptional people are beaten and knocked down several times, but they conquer the desire to quit. So sometimes when you see that the expectations that you have for your children are not being met, remember, exceptional people are beaten several times, but they conquer the desire to quit. So let's help our children to keep being focused and overcome any challenges they have in life. They also know that they need to focus on the future. When you are driving, you focus ahead. So what we say is that the future of our children contains more happiness than any past they can remember. So our children are very optimistic, they're very enthusiastic, as you saw this morning, and they know that the future contains a lot of happiness. And they conquer the enemy called average. As you've seen this morning, our children have outdone themselves. They're actually doing better than their teachers expected. And I'm sure you have also seen that some of our children here, as they played the piano, they have actually shown that they can do better than what we expect of them. So let's continue encouraging them to be enthusiastic and to be optimistic, even as they focus on their academic work and also social life. Remember, our school here aims at holistic education. We are not just focusing on academic work, we are focusing on social skills, spiritual development, which are all very important for our children. So that is what our children and our teachers have done. What about us as parents? How can we support our children in their journey in this life? Now, the first one, parents, is knowledge is power. Parents, by coming to a session like this and listening to a guest speaker, by attending workshops, there are online workshops, there are workshops in our churches on parenting. When we do this, we are able to get power because knowledge is power. And in relation to this, I have 2 books on sale. As you came in at the entrance, there are 2 books. There is one known as The House, which is a guide for parents and teachers. It shows the developmental stages of the children and how we can guide them at each stage. Another point that we can do to help our children maximize their God-given potential is that we need to be friends of our children. Our children are faced by many circumstances as they interact with the environment and technology. Let your child know that you are his or her best friend. Although children may show signs of "I don't care" attitude, they indeed appreciate your advice. Research has shown that teens with a relationship with an adult role model are more successful than their peers. So parents, even as young as they are, let's befriend them, because out there, when they go maybe to the high schools, when they go to the universities, there are many challenges that they will face. So let's be friends with them so that when they face these challenges, they'll come and confide in us and we'll be able to give them the best advice. Encourage your son or daughter to choose friends wisely. Do you know the best friend of your child? The reason why we need to encourage our children to choose their friends wisely is because birds of a feather flock together. Show me your best friend and I'll tell you the kind of a person you are. So let's know our children's friends, and let's encourage them to choose the best friends. Create time to be with your child. I know this year it has been a marathon, but now the children are relaxing for about two months. So parents, please take time and be with your child. Create time. Maybe it's the weekends, in the evenings or early mornings, depending on your schedule, but be strategic about it so that you spend more time with the children than you've ever done before. Continue to partner with the teachers of your child. In psychology, we say that the home environment and the school environment shape our children. So it's important that your children are in this school. There is something that your teacher knows about your child that you may not know. So it's important to partner with the teacher or with the teacher of your child. The other important thing is it's important to frequently hold family meetings at home. I don't know, parents, how many of us have initiated a family meeting. You can make it once a week or you can make it twice depending on your schedule. These meetings are important because you'll be able to discuss several issues which affect the children. One of the issues that parents don't discuss, and I want to encourage you to discuss with your children, is sexuality. There is a lot of evil out there through the internet and also through exposure, through neighbors and so on. So discuss a number of the following issues with your children. Discuss the menu of the week, involve them, books to be read, magazines to be bought, choice of friends, drug and substance abuse, relationships, sexuality, children's rights, child abuse, accountability, transparency, obedience to authority, fear of God, and so on. So let's take time and have meetings with our children and discuss. You can just come up with any of these topics on a weekly basis and discuss so that you know your child's attitude towards the topic. And maybe if you find that it's geared on the wrong way, you are able to bring the child back on track. Create a routine to create a sense of stability. I don't know, parents, whether you have a routine in your house, but for the 2 months, it's good to have a routine, have a time to wake up, time for household chores, time for exercises, meal time, and also free time. The reason why it's important to have a routine, it's because in case your child has fallen and is not on the right track, how will you know as a parent? You will know when the child is not following the routine. Maybe the child used to wake up at 8, but now he's waking up at 1 p.m. and staying in his room and is not interacting with others. That is a sign that there is a problem. So creating a routine with for the children is very important. Let the children know that we accept them. Let them know that even if they have made mistakes, we still accept them as our children. I counsel a number of young people, and out there you realize that young people, when they're in trouble, they don't run to their parents. Why? Because they are not sure whether they'll be accepted. So it's important for you to assure your child that despite what happens, you love them and you accept them and you are ready to correct. Affirmation is very important. Sometimes, especially the adolescents, they may tend towards the negative issues of life. but affirm what they do right. So what we say is that for every one negative comment you give, look for 5 ways of affirming. Affirm your child when they do the right thing. Sometimes we only focus on the negative things that our children do. Create good habits. Repeat as often as possible what habits you'd like to be instilled in your children. Sometimes we don't give rules in our houses, and we only correct or rebuke the children or punish them when they do something wrong. But from the beginning, we have never told them about our expectations. So in those family meetings that I'm talking about, it's good to have discussions about even what is considered acceptable behavior in the family and what is not acceptable. Parents, let's be role model. Last week I was counseling a girl who is pregnant, and she was telling me that the boyfriend told her to abort, her friends told her to abort, and what surprised me is that even the parents suggested that. So parents, let's be role model. There's a saying that says that your actions are too loud. I can't hear what you are saying. So parents, let's sacrifice ourselves and try as much as possible to be role model, because our children will imitate us. Let's be consistent. Sometimes we may not be happy with the school management, but the best way of addressing it is you come to the school and speak to that teacher or speak to the head teacher, but don't discuss in front of your children. If you discuss the weaknesses of the institution in front of the children will lose confidence in the institution, and therefore they'll not perform as much as we expect of them. At home also, as mothers and fathers, let's also be consistent. Sometimes when the father says this and the mother says the opposite, children get confused in between, and they will tend to cling or support the parent who supports what they are up to. So let's be consistent in school with the teachers and consistent at home as parents. Children who are raised by parents who are not speaking the same voice or with the same voice end up being rebellious, and we wouldn't want that for our children. As I've said before, let's establish limits. We have adolescents. When they are little, they are very obedient. But when they turn 9, 10, 11, when changes begin happening, sometimes they seem to challenge us as parents. So establish limits within your house. Instill spiritual values. Sometimes our children may seem like they are not obedient, but when we instill the spiritual values, the right attitude, and the correct behavior, even if they may veer for some time from what we have told them, one day they'll remember, this is what my dad said. One day they'll remember, this is what my mom said. And many children are saved as a result of that. Let's give emotional support to our children. Let the teens know, or the children know, that you are available in case they face an uncomfortable situation. As I've told you, I mentor a lot of young children, and majority of them are not ready to share with the parents. One case that really surprised me was when I counseled a child who had been raped. And what surprised me is even by the time the child was sharing with me, she had never told the mom. So let's break the walls between us and the children so that they learn that they can run to us in case of trouble. Provide as many books as you can for your children. And I would like to recommend a book that I've written known as The Wise. Children between 9 years and 19 years have a number of questions. Why am I different? What is wrong with having a boyfriend? Why am I treated as a child? Why am I so moody? what are drugs and why are they wrong, and so on and so forth. So they have a number of questions. I've written those questions and answers to those questions, and this book can be a great resource in helping you guide, especially the adolescents, and the book is also intended for those children. They're able to read their questions and they're able to get the answers such that we are able to help them. Let's build their self-esteem. The importance of these presentations that we have seen this morning are not just for fun. These children are learning public speaking skills. They are getting excited. They are learning being confident. They are learning to be confident. And as a result, we are building self-esteem. So sometimes when they are faced with adolescent changes, they may feel they are not good enough, they are not beautiful enough, they have pimples on their faces or acne and so on, and they may lose their self-esteem. The boys, as they break their voices, they may not be very confident with a new voice. So we need to affirm them, and we help them in building their self-esteem. Let's discipline them where necessary. Rebuke mistakes, correct errors, reward good actions. As I've said, sexuality is a key issue that needs to be discussed. So don't forget it in your discussions. Encourage them to have healthy eating habits, because that is important. And as I conclude, for this session, for the 2 months, please look for holiday programs. In churches, we have holiday programs. And as a person, I have also come up with a career mentorship program, which is unique for children between 11 years and 21 years, and it's happening online. So in case you'd like your child to be exposed to different professionals, about 13 professionals will come and will be speaking to the children on expectations in career choices and also career development. So what we are saying is expose them to a lot of activities at home. Be at the forefront in suggesting what they can do so that they also maximize their time with you. Thank you for inviting me to this session. God bless you and enjoy your Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's appreciate her well.